Hey everyone, I just got done doing my food prep for the week and I've promised a lot of you a video on how I go through doing this. So I just wanted to take you step by step through how I get everything, how I make a plan for the week, how I know what to get at the grocery store, and how to stay within my budget and within my fitness plan for the week. So first of all, if you haven't done this, you need to take your nutrition quiz so you know what level you are. So I'm plan B. So you're going to want to go ahead and do this. So pull out your nutrition guide for your program, and we'll go through this guide right now. So first of all, what's your gender? If you're female, give yourself 1 point. If you're male, give yourself 2 points. Write it down. Next, what is your weight? I'm just going to let you look at this and give yourself that number of points. Okay, next one is what's your current activity level, not including the fitness program you're doing right now. This same guide applies to 21 Day Fix and 21 Day Fix Extreme as well. So take a look at that, figure out where you belong. Okay, and last, what is your goal? If your goal is to lean out, you're going to subtract 2. If your goal is to maintain weight, add 0. And if your goal is to build muscle, you're going to add 1. So take a look here, and then just total it up. Your total is going to tell you which plan you are, which is here on the other side. So once you know what plan you are, then flip to your page, and the page is a little bit different for everybody, depending on what program. But the page that looks like this, it tells you how many containers or how many portions. So if you're doing a program like P90X or P90X3, they don't have the color-coded containers yet, but they do tell you how many portions of carbohydrates to eat in a day, which is equivalent to a yellow container. How many portions of healthy fats to eat in a day, which is the equivalent to a blue or orange container. So this totally still applies. We're going for overall balanced nutrition. So go ahead and do that. Put me on pause if you need a few minutes to do that. Okay, so after you have figured out which plan you are, take a look at your calendar and write down any meals that you know you already have planned for the week. So that might be dinner out with friends, or it could be a work luncheon, or if you guys are going on vacation, it could be some vacation meals that you know you're going to have out. You don't have to know exactly what the food is going to be, but at least know that you have those out, so you don't have to plan food for that time. So go ahead, take a look at your calendar, put me on pause, and figure out what meals you already have planned for the week. Okay, next step is taking inventory of what you already have at home. So we always end up having way more than what we need, and the worst thing for your budget and the worst thing that drives me crazy is buying food when I already have plenty of other food available. So right now you're going to go through your refrigerator, go through your freezer, go through your pantry, anywhere where you keep food, and write down what it is you have. Now take a blank piece of paper. You can do this on your phone if you want. I like pen and paper. But put them into categories as well. So you're going to have proteins, fats, carbohydrates, oils, and nut butters. Those go together. Fruits, vegetables. So go ahead, organize your paper, and then go through your pantries and fridges and see what you have that fits into those already. So again, put me on pause and go ahead and do that. Okay, after you've gone through your pantries and your refrigerators, take another piece of paper and write down what plan you fall into from your nutrition guide. Write down what plan you are at the top of the paper. So I'm plan B. Grab my paper. Okay, so if I'm plan B, I'm going to write down at the top of my paper, and I want to leave room for check marks. So see, I have plan B right here. I get 4 red containers. I get 5 green containers. I get 3 yellow containers, 1 blue, 1 orange, and 2 teaspoons of oil. So see how I've done that there? I have room after each one to give myself some check marks or tallies. So we're going to be it's almost like a Sudoku puzzle. We're just going to be filling in the gaps. For me, my days look almost exactly the same throughout the week, especially Monday through Friday. I'm kind of a creature of habit. I don't mind eating the same food every day. Now, if you have a family, you're planning for more people, or if you just like more variety in your day, if you get really sick of eating the same stuff every day, then I would suggest doing this for each day of the week. So make a page just like this for Monday, for Tuesday, for Wednesday, for Thursday, Friday, etc. So go ahead and do that. Push pause and get that ready. Okay, next step after you've written down how many containers and how many portions you get of each food group, we're going to start filling in the gaps, kind of like the Sudoku puzzle I mentioned. So start with the meals that you know for sure are ready to go. So that's probably Shakeology for a lot of you. That's something you don't even have to think about. For me, I have my snacks, and looking at my list of the foods I already have available, I have most of my snacks ready. I don't actually have to buy them from the grocery store this week because I get them in bulk and then they last me a while. So those are things that I don't really have to think about too much. So go ahead and start writing those down, and know also that you may have to go back and tweak. So I use a pencil usually because there's a lot of erasing that goes on, and that's normal, especially if this is the first couple of times you have done this food prep thing. So go ahead and just start writing it out. So for me, I'm just going to write down breakfast. I'm going to put down, and we're going to be putting check marks as we go. So for my breakfast, I'm going to have Shakeology. As soon as I write down the word Shakeology, that counts as a red container. So I'm going to write Shakeology and give a check mark for red. See how I did that? Shakeology, red. Okay, so I've got 1 out of 3 reds done. When I have my Shakeology, I usually have a fruit serving with it, either a cup of strawberries or half of a banana. So I'm going to put, this week, I think I'm going to go with strawberries. So I'm going to write down strawberries, and I'm going to check off a purple. So see how I did that? Strawberries, purple. Okay. Typically then I also have my 12 almonds, which is a blue. So I write down 12 almonds and check off my blue. So etc. Now with the snacks, that for me is the easiest next step because I know I always have the same snacks pretty much every day. So I'm going to write that down, but it could be different for you. So I'm going to write down snacks. And I really like the turkey Epic bars. So I'm going to write down Epic bar. And that's a red, that's a protein. So I check off 1 red. I will have an apple because I like grab and go fruits that are just easy to go, easy to use. I don't have to do much to chop them or wash them or anything like that. So apple, and that's a purple. So write down apple, check off a purple. I like carrot sticks, so I'm going to write down my carrots, and that's a green. So I'm going to check off green. All right, and so on and so forth. You can fast forward. I'm going to just continue to keep going because this is just, I'm taking you guys through my food prep. So you can go along with me or you can fast forward to the next step. Let's see. So I'm also going to be having, let's see, for my snacks. I got my Epic bar, apple, carrots. I see that I'm still needing my teaspoons. I need my carbohydrates. And I still have an orange. Okay, I'm going to come back to my snacks. For my lunch, I'm going to go to that next. So I found some pre-made chicken patties at Whole Foods that are it's just chicken and pesto. Those are the only 2 ingredients in it. So I'm opting for that this week because I don't have a ton of time for cooking and it's a healthy, fast grab and go thing. And I think it's $5 or $6 for 2 of them. So it's about $2.50, $3 per chicken patty. So I'm going to put chicken patty and cross and check off a red. I decided I'm going to have some sliced zucchini with that. So I'm going to write zucchini, and that's a green, that's a vegetable. I am also going to have a fruit with my lunch. I've been hooked on mini oranges lately, and I get 2 mini oranges for 1 fruit serving. So 2 mini oranges and check off a purple. So see, my purples are now satisfied. So if you want, you can totally cross it off so you know that category is done, or you can just leave the check marks as is. And let's see. Oh, and I'm also I have oatmeal. That's one of the random pantry items that's been burning a hole in my pantry for a while. So it's not really a lunch food per se, but who cares? It's nutrition and it's going to taste good. So I'm going to have that with my lunch. So I'm going to put overnight oatmeal. I'm going to make that with just a little bit of the 30-calorie unsweetened vanilla almond milk. Autumn Calabrese says she does not count hers, so I'm not going to count mine either. So overnight oats, and that's a 1/2 cup, which is a 1/2 cup is equivalent to 1 yellow. So I write my overnight oats 1/2 cup, which counts as 1 yellow serving. All right, I'm doing pretty good so far. I'm going to move ahead to dinner. We've decided this week we're going to make a crock pot meal of carnitas with pork. So I'm going to have a red container full, and whenever I'm home for dinner, I'm just going to put it into the red container, measure it out, and that will be my serving. So I'm just going to write my carnitas and check off a red, which is my protein. I'm going to have a 1/4 of an avocado with it. And this is slightly different. I guess you can look at that as a blue or an orange, but I'm going to check off my orange for that. I'm going to have 2 corn tortillas. And those are my other 2 carbs. So I'm going to check off my 2 yellows. So see, as soon as I write it down, I'm checking it off. So I don't have to go back and forth so much. It makes the flow a little easier for me. So now I'm looking at this and I see what I have remaining. So I don't have any of my teaspoons. And actually, I was wrong. It's 4 teaspoons of oils that I get. So I see I still have my 4 teaspoons left. I have a couple greens left. And that's it. That's all I have left to fill in the gaps. So for my teaspoons and my greens, actually, I'm going to have a big salad to go with my carnitas. That's going to be my vegetable with dinner. So I'm going to do, it'll be 2 cups of greens. And I like beets on my salad, so I'll probably do a cup of beets. So that's 3 greens right there. And also, don't be afraid to have more greens. Even if your plan only says 3 or 4 green containers, think of greens as free. If you want to eat more vegetables, if you feel more hungry, you can fill up on those veggies and don't feel like you're going off course. So I'm going to have 2 teaspoons of olive oil as my dressing. I'll do 2 teaspoons olive oil, 2 teaspoons apple cider vinegar, and apple cider vinegar is free, so you don't have to account for that one. So 2 teaspoons olive oil, so I get to check off 2 teaspoons. And right now, the only thing I have left are 2 more teaspoons. So I like saving 2 teaspoons for my Justin's chocolate hazelnut butter, and that kind of serves as my dessert. It's real low in sugar, delicious. It's just an easy nut butter that tastes like chocolate. So I'll probably have that for dessert after dinner because I have a sweet tooth after dinner always. So I'm going to put 2 teaspoons Justin's butter. Check off my last 2 teaspoons on my paper, and all my categories are complete. That was pretty fast and easy, right? So I already knew the recipes that I wanted to make, so you can go either way. You can start by doing this and then start brainstorming, what am I missing? What kind of food do I need to be preparing this week? Or if you already have a recipe in mind, just see how it fits in to this plan. So if you haven't done this with me, go ahead again, push pause and go through your own steps and your own kind of puzzle. Okay, so a couple quick tips just for overall nutrition and budget-friendly stuff. First of all, try to have a balance at your meals. Try to balance out your proteins, carbs, and fats. With all the different containers, you really get all those different macronutrients. So each meal is kind of a complete, well-balanced meal. So my dinner has a little bit more fat than some of my other meals, but I also know that my week time is dinner, and I can get through my lunches fine. I can get through the day fine, but then once I get home and I'm comfortable and relaxed, that's when I tend to want to eat more. So I'm saving some more calories for dinner time so that I can do that. Other great tip is opt for the foods when you're filling in your gaps. Opt for the foods that you already have on your list of the foods that you found in your pantry and your refrigerator. That's going to help you with your budget, and it might make you be a little bit more creative and maybe eat some things that you wouldn't necessarily think go for each meal, like oatmeal for lunch after I have a chicken patty. That might seem kind of weird to some people, but it helps with the budget, and like I said, it's a good nutritious thing to put in your body. Now, I usually will I've already done this, so I didn't do it with you, but I will have a separate piece of paper next to this so that I can also be putting my grocery list. So I can cross off the foods that I already have in my pantry as I'm plugging them into my plan, but then have a separate piece of paper to add the foods that I don't already have. So for example, I already had my oatmeal, so I could cross my oatmeal off of I already have this list, but I do not have a pork shoulder to make carnitas. So I'm going to put 4 pounds pork shoulder on my grocery list. So as I'm doing this, I'm simultaneously checking off what I've already used and adding to my grocery list what I need to purchase. So by doing this has really helped me to save money and to go to the grocery store with just a really narrow focus of these are the few things that I need. And sometimes it feels like I'm not getting enough, but I need to remember that I've got stuff already at home that is already accounted for. If you really want to get crazy and super budget friendly, check out places like Aldi's or grocery outlets here in the Bay Area. It's kind of like the West Coast equivalent of Aldi's, but you can usually get some pretty healthy items for way less money. We've also found that we like Thrive Market, thrivemarket.com. You can get a lot of really super healthy dry goods, so we like to get our snacks from there. We've saved a lot of money on those Epic bars. You get almost $1 off each bar. They've got stuff like quinoa and beans and nuts and dried fruits and stuff like that. So it's a great value. We've found a lot of value in that so far. Definitely go to the bulk section if your grocery store has bulk, because you can just buy what you need for the week. So if you're having 12 almonds a day for 6 days, that's 72 almonds. You could literally count out 72 almonds, and I bet you that would cost $2 versus buying the whole big bag, which although it might last you longer, it's going to be harder on your grocery budget that day. So it depends on what your goal is. If you want to buy it more then and have it to last you for a month, or if you want to really keep track of your budget each week. And right now I'm keeping track of my budget each week. So I'm going to the bulk section and getting smaller portions of what it is that I know that I'm going to go through just that week. Other fun tips. Oh, if you really want to get crazy with it, you can actually go through and kind of guesstimate what your cost is going to be. I think I'll save that one for a different video, but for example, if you know you're going to buy a bunch of bananas and that's approximately $2, write down $2, and then you can add up what you anticipate your grocery budget is going to be. And then see how that compares to when you actually go to the grocery store. But often I find because I like to do this each week just to see where I end up, and I end up spending about $16 a day, and that includes my Shakeology, And it includes all of my meals, all of my snacks, and I mean, $16 a day for a day's worth of food compared to going out for one meal is huge savings, better for my body, better nutrition, better for results, and overall, way better for the budget too. So I hope that this has helped. Please feel free to message me if you have any questions at all, or if you want to go through this one-on-one with me and throw some ideas around. Take care.